Hello everyone and welcome again to Gary Goes, and for the final time on this trip, no, my name is not Gary. Welcome to, trying to work out what day I think this was, day 5 I think. Day 5 of the trip, and it's a cable car to the top of Babadag mountain, which was an incredible experience with amazing views, very reasonable price. I think it was about £7 for the return. Didn't go right to the top, so I think I explain that a little bit later, but there is basically 2 rides to the summit. So it goes kind of what you think is the top, but then it carries on for another, I don't know, I'm trying to guess how many meters, I'm not even going to guess, but probably like another 5 minutes up really to the top of the mountain. But certainly at the time of recording this in May 2022, that section was only open to the paragliders. Basically they went up in their own cable cars. You know, the likes of us weren't in the same car as they've got all the big parachutes and stuff, so they kind of separated them out and they went right to the very top. So we went, I guess it's like 3/4 of the way up this mountain, where there is a cafe and a restaurant, and so this is where I was when I filmed this. And stunning views. That's over Fethiye and Fethiye Bay, and then back over Olydeniz and the Blue Lagoon to the left. And that's right at the top there. That's, like I say, the extra part that you can only go up to again at the time of recording if you're a paraglider. And definitely mentioned this several times on the other videos, but Olydeniz is the paragliding capital of the world, Europe, whatever. It's definitely massive there. The sky is just full of paragliders all through the day. And I'm in a cable car on my own heading down, which is much more preferable because it means I can speak to you guys and check out the views. That was the top of Babadag mountain. I say the top, it isn't. I think there's 2 levels. I'm not sure why the higher level isn't open, but apparently, I don't know whether it's start of the season or there's issues up there, but you can only go up to the very top if you are a paraglider. But I think there is a viewing platform and things. So it goes up to 1,200 meters, which is still pretty high, still gets some amazing views. But you can tell it isn't the top because there's the restaurant there, and they kind of funnel you into the restaurant. There's not really observation sort of platforms unless you're sitting out, which I think you can see behind me. Can you? Where are we? Oh, I'm not sure if you can. Oh, that might be it above the top of my head. There's a little restaurant thing there with a viewing platform, but then you're kind of pushing past everybody to take photos and things, which is a bit awkward. So you can tell it's not sort of designed to be the top. But either way, it's still impressive. It's sort of £7.50 for the cable car. It's a good 10-15 minute trip. Definitely worth doing. I'm coming up to a steep bit now. As safe as these things are, there's always that slight thought, isn't there, when you're on one? Well, what if this is the time it crashes? But anyway, that isn't going to happen, hopefully. We'll make our way to the bottom. But if you can see behind me there, that's Olydeniz and the Blue Lagoon. So stunning views. So I am now going to sit on my own and enjoy the views, and hopefully I'll be at the bottom pretty soon, but not that soon. Could be at the bottom a lot quicker if things go wrong. Fingers crossed. So apologies, you basically have the same information twice there, the perils of recording and then doing a voiceover a few weeks later. But this is where you get on board the cable car with the views over there from the top of the mountain, so you can see what's going on. And they're just a bit of a gratuitous swimming pool hotel shot, but that is Babadag mountain there in the background, so fantastic views from the hotel. Early in the season, so the pool wasn't heated. I did brave it a couple of times, but luckily you won't get to see that. And then the following day, so day 6, was a Jeep safari. I'm not quite sure why they called it a safari. It wasn't a kind of let's go and find animals thing, although we did see a couple of massive tortoises. But it was a kind of like 4x4 adventure and day trip thing, I guess. So there wasn't many of us, as you can see, only like the three of us and then the two guides. There was another Jeep as well, so like two Jeeps going along doing the same itinerary. But it takes you out along the kind of foothills of the mountain, doing a kind of 4x4, off-road experience. Me clearly loving life there on the road. And then it goes to a couple of different destinations. So we go to Telos, which you'll see in a minute, which was a historical site. And then it visits a waterfall, the name of which escapes me, but you kind of walk through a narrow gorge to get to this waterfall. And then finally the Succulent gorge, which was stunning, walking through this sort of rushing river up to your knees, holding on to the rope for dear life. Oh, and then there was the mud bath as well, but I didn't engage in the mud bath, it has to be said. I just kind of sat there with an ice cream and a drink. But anyway, so enjoy. So this is Telos, which is an old city with lots of history, going back to the Lycians, right through the Roman Empire. I think this is Roman, this amphitheatre, what's left of the amphitheatre. Then the Ottoman Empire, and there's a castle up on that hill above the Lycian ruins. Zoom in. So our Jeep has stopped and given us 20 minutes or so to explore, and again, it's fantastic. I mean, what a location. Mountains all around, so much history in these ruins. You know, at least 2,000 years of history right here. It doesn't look like anyone else wants to come and explore the amphitheatre. Oh well, all for me. Let's go and have a little wander. Definitely a more impressive waterfall than the other day. Once you get past everyone trying to take their pictures. So yeah, this is us arriving in the Succulent Gorge. Yeah, it was a whole day. We got there about lunchtime, so lunch was provided. Most of these day trips do include, pretty decent lunch, and it's all in for about £15, so you can't really complain for the entire day. And yeah, so this is where you arrive at the Succulent Gorge. You either buy or hire some water shoes, roll up your trouser legs, and yeah, wade through the river. It's quite strong, at the mouth of the gorge, and then you can just walk up. We only had about an hour there, so it was a kind of 20-minute walk up, 20-minute walk back. Really steep sides. The guides were saying that in the summer you have like sheep and snakes and things that fall off the kind of the really high sides and obviously end up in the gorge. Not alive, sadly, but yeah, that happens quite a lot apparently in the summer. But I love it here where they've got all these benches that are kind of half submerged, so you can just kind of sit and cool off if you didn't kind of want to do the trek into the gorge. But really picturesque. Absolutely recommend it. I mean, it's very, very popular. All kinds of day trips, on the way there. But definitely worth an hour or two. real highlight of the region. And yeah, fantastic Jeep safari. And then at the end of the day, back to the meat restaurant, the Karakabe, it was called, just on the way between Olydeniz and Fethiye. Definitely recommend it, right on the edge of the forest. And then just for a little last night treat, FA Cup final. This is Hisaranu, so this is mini Benidorm. It was all right, you know. It had a lot of places to eat and drink. Very, very British, as you can tell. Not really my cup of tea, but it was all right. I wouldn't have stayed there, but it was nice for a few hours, soak up the Brits abroad atmosphere. So it's the last day. I'm waiting for my transfer, and I thought I'd find somewhere quiet to sum up my thoughts, really. So yeah, I haven't really done much today, so not any filming. Went back to Fethiye, had a little wander around the marina, nice coffee, looked around the fish market, and sampled Turkish McDonald's. Sorry, but it has to be done. My verdict is it was the same as our McDonald's. But anyway, massive drink though, and very cheap. So yeah, I'm just waiting here for a few hours now, just relaxing. It's quite a late flight, so the transport doesn't get here till about 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna have some food at the hotel and just relax for a couple of hours. But yeah, it's been a fantastic holiday. Really pleased I booked it, considering I thought it was going to be a bit ropey or a bit I don't know. I don't really know what I thought, to be honest. I've heard a few things about Turkey and I thought it's just going to be Brits abroad, and there is that. Not taking it away. There is that element. Which can be nice sometimes, you're never stuck for the language. There's not places to eat and drink, reasonable prices, but you don't have to go too far to outside of that sort of resort town to experience some of the real Turkey. And doing that 4x4 safari was great. Went through some villages and things. Fethiye itself, although again on the front is very touristy, it's still a Turkish town, and sort of the quieter back streets are much more like that, the old town, the fish market and things. But anyway, yeah, so that's been the holiday, and overall it's been fantastic, particularly for the price. Really glad I did it. I'm sure I will be back to Turkey at some point. Hope you've all enjoyed the video, and or videos, depending. I've recorded quite a lot, and we'll see where Gary ends up next. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and just gonna go and relax a little bit more before my flight. And stupidly, I have work tomorrow because I didn't take the day off, but never mind. That's tomorrow's problem. See you all later. Bye bye.